It's time now for a spot of late lunch. Joining me today, it's Alex Flynn and his wife, Aurelie. Good to see you. You're right, lovely. Now, Alex, you've been diagnosed, you've been suffering from a disease that we normally associate with someone much older, haven't you?
Yeah.
What is it?
I have Parkinson's.
How old are you? I'm
38 and I was diagnosed 2 years ago.
It must have been so shocking. How was it first brought to your attention? What were the first symptoms for you?
I went to work and I get in early, porridge, coffee, went to pick up the coffee, and my hand was a little bit less than that, and that is the PD at the moment. Probably because I'm a bit nervous about being here. So
well, you don't need to be, but I mean, that does make it worse, doesn't it? It will exacerbate it. So you had these tremors, you then went to the doctor, presumably to have some tests.
Yeah, I had a fantastic health plan with the company I was with, and I saw this consultant who rocked up in a Ferrari in a nice Italian suit, who hit me with some hammers on my reflex points and ummed and ahed and told me I had a beautiful brain. And then told me it could have been one of two things, Parkinson's or Wilson's, which is another disease, which is completely treatable. And he sent me to a tremor specialist, and I walked into the guy's room, and he said, without even doing any tests, "You've got Parkinson's." I said, how can you know that? He said, "I've got 750 patients, and I could have told you 4 years ago in the queue at Tesco's."
Wow. And how unusual is it for someone of your age to be struck down?
It's not completely unusual. The earliest sufferer I've heard of was a 9-year-old girl.
See, now this is something that we don't know. As I said before, we thought it was associated with growing older. How has it changed your life, Aurelie?
It's been, well, some days Alex has difficult days, so it's a bit difficult because you don't really know what to do to help.
And what's the prognosis? What can we do? What can you do?
Currently, there isn't a cure. There's medication to treat the symptoms, but invariably your body gets used to the medication and the symptoms become worse. So I've decided to raise £1 million to try and find research for a cure.
No, that's what you have to do, isn't it? I guess you have to channel. You have to channel the energy, channel what has happened into doing something positive.
Yeah.
I mean, you're clearly a very fit guy. You've obviously looked after yourself all your life. And how are you going to be raising the money? I do know you did a fundraising in the Sahara, didn't you?
Yeah, I went out.
Nearly killed yourself.
Yeah. I went out in 2009 to do the Marathon des Sables. Passed out on the third day. So I went back this year. I covered 250 kilometers in temperatures over 143 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. And I became the first Parkinson's sufferer to do so. Well,
I'm so glad you could join us. First of all, to make people aware that this is something that does affect young people, people of all ages. And also because I want to make you lunch.
Thank you.
And I know you love a bit of duck.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go over with Paul Rankin's here, and we're going to make you something I hope you really love. And thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, I think they deserve the best we could possibly do. What are we making?
We're making some duck, breast of duck with lime and pickled ginger. How's your duck skills?
I've never ever cooked duck ever in my life. Now,
do you like duck?
Yeah. I've always found it a bit fatty.
One of the wonderful things about the fat is it renders out quite quickly. So we score it by not cutting through all the way the duck, just to gently score the skin. And as we cook it, that allows the fat to come out.
So you go down is that a bit too much?
Well, is this your first? It's your first time doing duck. You're all right. That's pretty good. But what I tend to do, I tend to sort of march along and use my fingers as a guide, and then we do it the other way as well. Okay. Like this. Your knife's sharper than mine. That's the one.
Oh, yeah.
And then we season with salt and pepper, and it's really a pretty simple thing to. You need a bit of practice on this thing.
That's why you're here.
Yeah. little bit of salt, and season the board as well, because the board likes a bit of seasoning.
Seriously?
No,
You're taking
stay with me for a second. Stay with me. Look, you season the board, and instead of having to turn it over and season it again, all you do is that. Ta-da! So that's why you season the board. So the duck's now ready to go in the pan, but we have ducks in the pan. We start the duck out in the pan, skin side down.
Yeah.
And remember those scores that we made?
Yeah.
Quite a strong heat, and all the fat starts to come out of that, you know? And then you have to kind of pour it off. Ideally, what I would do then is just turn it over and pop it in an oven for about 3-4 minutes. So duck is one of those strange things which is beautiful, cooked well done, a bit like the Chinese do, and cooked